Hi everyone, it's Michelle from Scrap Secrets and welcome to the last craft and chat for 2020. So I know I haven't done one in a while and I was doing my other series, but I am embarrassed and I'm going to tell you guys why. If you saw the video that was up before this, you saw how I organize my stamps. And last night I was putting some stamps away from Concord and Ninth, and I realized that I had not used my supplies. I had so many stamps that I hadn't even opened. I had not used a stamp from it, and I'm going to show you how embarrassing this is because I took out all of the stamps that I had not used last night, and here is the list. There are 83 stamp sets that I own just from Concord and Ninth that I have not used a thing on. Now, disclaimer, I am going to say that I did get several stamp sets that were new to me from Black Friday and I hadn't gotten a chance to use them. I hadn't ordered from Concord and Ninth in a while, and it is a stamp company that I tend to have a lot of products from, so I kind of use that as my baseline. And I'm also going to do the same thing with MFT. Go through them, and I'm going to work on using these stamp sets. So last night I categorized them, and this is everything that I'm showing you. Some of these things, like the Mary die, was free, so it wasn't anything that I purchased. So some of these things are not things that I purchased. They were free with product. Like this one was a free gift. So not that that makes it any better, because believe me, that means that I just spent a lot of money. However, I really feel like this year I need to step it up. I need to start using my supplies. So what I am proposing for myself is to kind of do some challenges, and I am going to use my supplies. So like I did for Concord and Ninth, I am just going to come up with some ideas for a couple of stamp sets. I'm just going to play around with some of the material that I have in my craft room, and this is what we're going to be doing today while I'm doing my craft and chat, because it takes a lot out of me to craft and think at the same time and to talk. So we're just going to be doing very basic skills. So for this card, I am going to be using the Concord and Ninth All My Love stamp set, which I got for free with purchase. I don't remember when this was, but obviously, look, as you can see, it has literally never been opened. So, because when I open the stamp sets now, what I do is just cut the top off of this. So today we are going to be doing some simple watercoloring backgrounds. I have actually sketched out a couple of things on the back of here for some of the products that I have for Concord and Ninth, but I figured let's do a craft and chat because I haven't done one of those in a while. Hopefully this will get you guys to maybe look at the products that you have on hand, and maybe you will start to use them. For me, this is just a challenge. I'm not going to show every single card, like making every single card, because I thought about doing that, and then I thought to myself, I just did that video where I said I don't know if I have enough time to devote to doing YouTube still, so I felt like it would be putting a lot of pressure on myself to do that. Which color did I not use? Was this the same one? No. So I felt like that would be a lot of pressure if I decided to do that. So I'm not going to. I'm going to just I will share the cards with you, but I'm not going to share the entire card making process. So, except like maybe for these kinds of things, the craft and chats, and maybe I'll do, some of these types of videos and, work on some projects, and, I will also incorporate them into my everyday videos, the videos that I, will be doing for series and otherwise. But I am going to this is just, sorry, so this is just going to be kind of a watercolored background. I kind of want it to be like that messy watercolor, and then just going to stamp over the top of it. So I don't actually want to cover the entire surface. I kind of just want to get those pencil marks out. And I've never done this with colored pencils, so I don't know how this is going to work. I think I probably need a little bit more white in there. But again, we're just gonna play today. This is kind of what I wanted to do. I miss this. I miss being in the craft room and just being able to create freely, not having really an idea in mind, you know, maybe just a general concept, but not the entire idea framed out. So that's part of one of my goals for 2021, and is to kind of just get down into the craft room and play a little bit more, because I think this year I didn't back myself. I'm not going to say I backed myself into a corner, because I didn't, but I did a lot of projects that, oh, there we go. That got it moving. I did a lot of projects that, I don't know, I did hops, and I kind of felt like, and I love doing the hops. Those were so much fun, and hopefully like no one takes that the wrong way. But the hops were a really, really good time, but I also felt, I think, a little bit pressured, because I felt like I was comparing myself to the other members of the hop, which is kind of silly, because we're all in it for fun. So it's not like, you know, anybody was judging anybody. I don't know. I definitely want to do hops next year. I don't have anything against them. I really, really enjoyed the hops that I did, but I think that I'm going to be a little bit more strategic with the hops that I do. I had so much fun doing the Halloween hop. If you guys were around for that, the videos are still up on my channel. If you were not around, or if you missed that series, it was so much fun. There were 7 of us, and everyone had a day to post. I'm just gonna spray this with water. Maybe get a little bit of texture on here. Let's see. Let's just see. And my day was Sunday, I believe, and it was just so much fun to see everybody's creations. And not everyone was on YouTube, so there wasn't videos every single day. Sometimes it was just Instagram posts. So it was a lot of fun to do that one. I liked that one. The seam set syndrome, I actually did not finish that one. It became too much, and I think that's one of the things that, for a long-term event like that, I'm going to have to say no. I should not have signed up for that, because it was too much for me. It got to be a lot, and I couldn't finish my commitment. And it wasn't just me. A lot of people weren't able to. So I think that, you know, long-term hops like that, and if you guys don't know what it was a 6-month commitment to buy from different stamp companies. Initially, I thought that we were going to all use the same, like, vote on the stamp companies that we had, and then use that, and then use this, you know, like, a couple people use different stamp sets. Well, I didn't have anything from any of the companies, so that meant I had to purchase things every single month. And to get the free shipping, you usually had to buy, you know, a lot of stuff. They did give you a little bit of a discount. However, I ended up with some stamp sets that I don't really love, and I wouldn't have bought, because I was close to the, you know, the free shipping, and it was either pay for shipping or pay for a stamp set. I'm always going to pay for another stamp set, because it to me, it doesn't feel like it makes sense to pay for shipping if you could, you know, if you're $5 or $6 away and you can buy a $5 or $6 stamp set. It doesn't make sense to pay for shipping. So some things like that happened. So I wasn't really fond of that kind of thing. I guess it was the first time that we did this, so I think that the rules maybe weren't as, you know, it wasn't as clear. If I would have known that some of the stamp companies up front that I would have had to buy from, not that there was anything wrong with them, but I didn't have the supplies. I thought I was going to have supplies for at least a couple of months, and I wouldn't have to buy anything. So unfortunately, that's what happened, and I ended up with some stamp sets that are not really my scene. So that was kind of, not frustrating, but it was one of those things that isn't a hop that I would do again. I like the ones where you can kind of choose your own stamp sets. They give you a theme and then you can choose your own stamp sets. Okay, so that is not coming out really well. I don't know if I put too much water in it or what. These definitely are not, these backgrounds are not coming out the way that I thought they would. And these are the Gansai Tombi gem colors that I'm using right now. Just kind of, just wanted to do like a splatter background. I could have used a stencil set that I have. This is kind of more of what I had in mind for the first one, kind of just more of like a streak, I guess. So, there you go. All right. So we're just gonna kind of do this and see how it turns out. So, and I think the first one is dry. This one's definitely dry. So we could always go in with some more colors and kind of blend, try to blend some of this out, or add like another color on top of it. So let's try doing that. So as I was saying a little bit about hops, I think that I might skip some of the hops this year, be a little bit more selective. There are so many over on Team Tiny. We do them once a month. Oh, look at that. You can't really blend that pencil out. Interesting. There you go. Kind of get like the lines in there. Maybe it's because I still have paint from the Gansai Tombi paint on there. There we go. Some of those lines are coming out. I probably had some Gansai Tombi paint on there. I think it's the purple that I don't like on this. Actually, I'm going to add some of this. This is the gem red. It doesn't really come across as red, which is interesting. And then here is the, I have to squirt water in it again. The other one is the gem pink. I do like it better with this stuff on here because it has that shimmer to it, and I think it just brings a little bit, see, there you go. So this is more of like a mixed media look, which I'm not great at. I feel like there are so many great mixed media artists, and I am definitely not one of them. But I do like the way this looks. I'm adding a little bit of sparkle and shine to that. Hopefully the camera is picking it up. I'm not sure if it is, but okay. So we're gonna let this one dry for a little bit. And oh boy, do I not like the way this one looks. The purple is terrible. So I am going to go over it with a little bit of pink, and hopefully that will get rid of it. Add a little bit of pink there. So these backgrounds might look a little bit similar. So let's see, what else for 2021? So if you saw my video before this, you know that I talked about organization, and I am working on some other videos for that. I do have a couple of other things in mind. I have the wood stamp storage. So I just did the stamp storage that I did was the clear stamps, and I'm gonna go through my wood stamp storage. That's not gonna take long. That'll be a very, very quick video. Let's see, and then what else? I am planning on redoing my carts. I don't have the Raskog. I have the ones from Michael's. So it's the one that's very, very similar to the Raskog cart from IKEA. I have that one. I don't remember what it's called, but I have 4 of them. 5. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 3 of the mint ones and 1 white one. I think I might have a second white one around here somewhere. And then I have one of the longer ones, and I'll show you what I put in those ones. So I'll do an organization tour on that I need to start looking up how to organize my desk because I hate my desk. I I love the amount of space I have on my desk. I just do not love the clutter that's on it. I need to come up with a better storage system. I did have a spot on my desk for, like, in one of the cubby holes for stamps that I was going to use in upcoming projects, and then I was going to put it away afterwards. Yeah, that didn't happen. So I would love to look for a solution for that. I have my ink pad holders. I can show that solution. I can show my scrapbook solution. I will be showing my stencil solution because I love that. That's probably one of my favorite organizational tips, are the way that I store my stencils. So, all right, so I think this is dry. So I can't tell if that was on there before. I think it was. So now we are going to be using our first stamp set, and then out of this 83 set that I have not used. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to be crossing off the stamp sets as I use them, and I'm going to be giving myself a time frame to see how many of these stamp sets that I can use. So for Concord and 9th and probably MFT, because those are my biggest. When you go back and watch my video, if you haven't watched already, if you're going to go back and watch my video, I shouldn't say go back and watch it. If you wanted to watch the stamp storage organization video, you will see that my top row of stamp sets houses my Concord and 9th and my MFT, because those two are the ones that honestly I have the most of, and I used to reach for the most. Now it's probably Honeybee is in there too, and Kindred stamps. So I do have a number of stamp sets that I do reach for first. And those are in the top two rows, but the MFT and Concord and 9th I have the most of. And I'm going to be doing, I think, 4 to 6 weeks for those ones. So probably more like a 6-week challenge for that, to just use as many stamp sets as I can. So I'm going to challenge myself to do that. Now, there are instances where I've designed already some ideas or sketched out some ideas on paper that I've used multiple stamp sets, which is great because then that'll help me get to my goal faster. So now if you saw what I did, I don't know if you can see, it might have been a little bit off camera. What I did was I inked this up with a Versamark first, just because I've never used this stamp set. I was using either an eraser or my hand to go over it, but I think that using Versamark is probably the way to go, and it helps take on the ink, especially for larger stamps. So I stamped that down and kind of got the Versamark ink off of it first, and now we are going to ink up this stamp. So again, this is the All My Love stamp set. So I hope that you guys are enjoying these craft and chats. I know I haven't done one in a while. Like I said, with all the other series stuff that I was doing, and then work with the pandemic. For those of you who don't know, I work in the food industry, and we were just slammed. I work for a major manufacturer, and we just couldn't, and we're still having a little bit of a rough time making some products. And you will probably, I mean, the products that I sell, you guys probably all know. And it is increasingly difficult to do anything in an 8-hour day because everyone is home and we're on conference calls all day because everybody is home. Our 2 headquarter offices have shut down. They're not really letting people, I think that there's only a few people that are allowed in the headquarters at a time. That's interesting, and that picked up, let's see if you guys can see this. I don't know if you can see, but it picked up some of the paint. So I don't know if it's not dry or that was just from the Versamark. So I'm gonna wipe that off. So anyway, as I was saying, like this, so it's been, you know, lots of nights and weekends of working to get stuff done that you should normally be able to get done during the day, but can't because you're on conference calls. I think there was one day where I think I had 6 or 7 hours worth of conference calls out of a 9-hour day. So, including lunch. So it's been, increasingly difficult this year to keep up with stuff because once I'm done work, I just don't want to come downstairs and craft. My camera stopped and I didn't realize it, but this is what the piece turned out to look like. I like it. There's a couple pieces that didn't get stamped as well, but it has that watercolor background. I'll just leave this. I might fussy cut it later on. I might try to add some more colors, maybe color in the leaves or a little bit, put some sparkle on it or something like that. Anyway, I think what I was saying before my camera died was that I have all kinds of ideas for the stretcher supplies. I don't know where I got cut off, but I have ideas for stamps, stencils, dies, inks, you name it. I've tried to pick supplies that I have, not just stamps, because I didn't want it to be solely focused on stamps, because I know people have dies and stencils that they're unsure of how to use, or they don't realize that they can use them in multiple ways. I started writing up some ideas for that. I'm very excited about starting that. That will be in the beginning of the year. I will have that video recorded probably the first week of the year before I go back to work. That'll probably be the first video of the new year. So that's it. I just wanted to jump on. I know this wasn't really quick. It was like a 20-something minute video. I wanted to jump on and say hi to you guys and to let you know why I am super embarrassed about this list. I seriously cannot believe that this list is this long. It is, and this is just for, like I said, just for Concord and Ninth. It's not for any other stamp company. So I'm almost embarrassed to see MFT, because if you saw the storage video, I have 2 bins of Concord and Ninth. And if there's 83 there and MFT has 3 bins, I am not even sure that I want to know. But that is a challenge that I'm giving to myself, is to use as many stamp sets as possible. I think for Concord and Ninth and MFT, I will do 6 weeks, and then everything else I'll try to do 4 weeks. I will keep records of the lists and see how many I can get done. And then in the process, I will also be doing things with other stamp companies. Don't worry, it's not just going to be Concord and Ninth, like a barrage of Concord and Ninth. There will be other stamp companies in there. And part of the reason that I wanted to do this is I saw Virginia's, she did a post about not buying anything in January, using your stash. I think that's what she called it. And it got me thinking, because I really need to do that. I buy a lot more than I consume and use. I wanted to see how bad that really is, how bad I am at using my supplies. Obviously, very bad from this list. I will be putting together a list of MFT. I'll probably do that later on tonight. I have a whole bin full of everything, and after I use it, it is going to go back into the bins that I showed you guys in the video before this. I wanted to thank you guys all for coming along and for following me in 2020. Hopefully you will continue to follow me in 2021. I will be bringing you lots of new content. Like I said, you won't see a lot of process videos with the Concord and Ninth, but you will see the finished products of a lot of it, and you will also see the couple of series, the organization series, as well as the stretcher supplies. So I'm looking forward to doing those videos, because I find those to be a lot of fun and very creative. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. This will not be the last video of 2020. It will be one of the last, but this will be the last Craft and Chat of 2020. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you again real soon for another video. Bye!